Well, alright, welcome everyone to today's live stream of Subnautica Below Zero. We are, of course, back to build again because, hey, you know what? We don't have an update yet for the stable branch. And, you know, I'm not going to do the, I'm not going to worry about the experimental branch because I just don't want to deal with the extra bugs that it's already going to add on top of what we got. So, we're going to do another build, and, you know what? I'm actually going to take... I'll take some lithium, because I'm sure I'm going to probably need some lithium. I need titanium. I need other stuff. We're going to do like a little base build today. I would like to pick a better place, but we're going to build in the Deep Lilypad. Basically the new version of the jelly shroom caves. I really wanted to build something different, but without all the biomes, I can't make the best decision on which one I want to build in next. So we're going to build there. So, hello, Xbox, Liam, Aljaz, Nugs Not Drugs, hi, Real Isaac Plays, hi, thanks for joining in, everyone. So, let's see, we're already being attacked like crazy. Get off of me. Actually, you know what, we're gonna go... There's some stuff I might could get titanium from. Actually, let's stop. We'll do a quick pit stop so I can repair, because that was a lot of attacks. And I'm gonna see if I can grab a few outcroppings really quick. So titanium, very hopefully. All right, we'll make a quick pit stop as well over by the vent garden base, and I don't remember if I have that much titanium left there or not. I kind of used a lot last time with the Rocket Island build. Well, we're going to see if we could get at least, I mean, again, we're limited on decorations in the game, especially without something like a decorations mod, which I got very used to having. That's nice to have a lot of decorations. It makes it feel more like the game really is built to accommodate base builds and allow you to do as much customization as you want. This vanilla, it feels like there's just enough you know, just enough cosmetic stuff to make you feel like they listen to the players. Is like, oh, you like building, okay, we'll give you a little bit, but it's not like they understand people want to build big bases and very elaborate bases. It feels more like they still want you to focus just on the storyline and just build enough to get done. So I'm definitely looking forward to a heavily modded playthrough of this, especially because of fixing the sea truck weird problems, how bad the sea truck is. Maybe some creative modder will be adding in the sea moth again. Oh, Yash? Okay, I'll say it that way now. Sorry. Did I say it wrong? It's not loading? Do a, like, refresh your page. Because the videos, I mean, I'm watching it even. No, I know it's not having a problem. I wonder how much it would interfere with building around this. Well, I'm sure we can't build inside. I'm wondering how much it would let you build on top of it, though. Might be something we try out. Okay, lithium. I'm not seeing any titanium outcroppings, which is unfortunate. Or, you know, the big chunks. I'm hoping I might see one respawned over here. Nothing. Alright, we'll go on over this way. We'll get to the vent garden base. I'll grab whatever else I can from there that I expect to need. And then we'll go try building, you know, I want to call it jelly shroom, but it's not jelly shrooms, and it's not... I feel like the Deep Lilypads, I mean, that's just a good name for it from where it's at, but I feel like they need to come up with a much better name, like Flower Spore Cave, Spore Flower Cave, something like that, because we got jelly shroom caves. That's not like jelly shroom caves part of the plateaus. So do the same kind of treatment. Make it its own little specialty biome, not just Deep Lilypad area. Oh, we'll definitely want a moon pool there because, I mean, come on, that's a good place to try and like have a docking spot for prawn suit or something.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
I don't know about the ISPs as far as working. I know that, you know, the utility companies are, or at least, you know, America utility companies are still supposed to be paying employees, and they're talking about that package to allow anybody that's having to work as an emergency services gets like a big bonus this year in terms of their pay. But I would assume that they at least have somebody working with internet companies, depending on the company. Obviously, they're gonna have some people that are working from home, I'm sure, just maintaining the network infrastructure. But as far as the physical stuff, people having to go out and fix cables, I don't know. I would assume they have at least somebody. They may just not have that many people working, so they may be, you know, overloaded in trying to get stuff taken care of. But, you know, if you're having problems and you can't get a hold of anybody, just think of it as like, this is what it could be like if there was actually a complete shutdown of, you know, normal stuff that we rely on. So, yeah. Let's see. Do we want to take... You know what? Yeah, we need to take at least one of those, I'm thinking. I don't know if I actually want to worry about that now. I may not actually worry about that at this one. Or if I do, I might just use it as, like, we'll do an exterior grow bed at this base. I don't want to deal with a double stack multi-purpose room at this one. I want to keep this one much more simplified. It's not like you're going down there to do a lot of harvesting. It's more, if you were going down there for a base, you'd be going to do like a research station. So not a super massive base. And oh yeah, we're gonna have to have something. I'm gonna have to go get some titanium. Guess I'm gonna take a little trip, see what I can get, and then come back and hopefully have enough to do the plasteel ingot, because we're gonna still stick with the big rooms. I like the big rooms. Oh, no, see, there it goes again. They really need to, I feel like they've got to be planning to upgrade the moon pools in response to the fact that we're using no sea moth. We're using just the prawn suit and the sea truck, because the sea truck does not play well with the moon pool. It really just does not play that well. Especially, I mean, the animations are bad, but it's especially when you're disconnecting and reconnecting your modules, like there. I was reconnecting and then it made me redock when I wasn't trying to. I feel like it should have a better at the least a better animation where when you're trying to dock, it does maybe an extra second where it ejects the other modules further back. So maybe it's not just like drop them, but it actually has like some kind of eject mechanism that pushes them away, like a little jet stream burst, so that when you back up, it keeps you, like, backing up after you undock, you're trying to reconnect to the modules, it keeps you out of that range where it's going to try and pick you up in the moon pool again. Or just do like I say, give us a extended moon pool, especially for the sea truck, so you can dock it with a couple of modules. Like, say the first 2 modules dock with it. Perfect reason to have your storage as the first 2 modules on it. The way you dock it, you can actually pull your stuff out of it. Have some kind of interaction panel that lets you do it. Like we've seen modders do for the original game with the prawn suit and such. Make it easy to get your stuff out instead of having to dive back in the water to go back inside and empty storage that way. Spore Bonanza. Spores are us. That's a good one. They might get sued on that one, though. I don't know. You know, Toys R Us might say, hey, that's a little too close. But then again, Toys R Us kind of, did they completely close and go under? I feel like they did. I feel like they don't exist at all anymore. Like, whatever parent company it was that did Toys R Us, like, just said, yeah, we're closing the doors. Let's see, any titanium spots down here. I mean, outcroppings, but I was kind of hoping more for real, you know, like, here's a big titanium drilling spot. Who has completed the first Subnautica? I would hope most of the people watching have probably completed the first Subnautica. We got a lot of people who have been watching for a while, and I've been through, is it 6 or 7 total playthroughs I've done on the game since it was in early access. That's why I'm focusing on Below Zero now, because I've kind of burned out on, you know, after so many playthroughs, you run out of stuff to do in the original game. Nickel, yeah, we'll take nickel. Really, my whole interest is just the titanium, but, you know, I'll take whatever I can. Alright, so that's 12. So that's enough for the 2 large room, or 1 large room. Yeah, that's enough for 1 large room and, like, the hatch. Which may only do 1 large room in this. Without decoration stuff, I'm really not finding enough to warrant a full 2nd level, except for it being like a power production level. And even that's not really justifying it in a lot of cases. Ooh, actually, let's... Ah! I think we're coming to the edge, or an edge. It's not the edge, it's not the spot where it drops completely off, but it is one of the unfinished biomes, which means no resources. Going back this way. Ruben, no, this is stable. I do not play experimental because there's enough bugs in stable alone for my taste. I'm not going to add even more by going experimental on it. big outcropping so far. Lots of newt fish. And you can see more of that unfinished biome. So we know we've got something that they're still going to put in right there, because that's just too sharp of a separation and just that generic texturing. So we know there's something that's going to go there. Maybe we'll get a really good looking biome over there. It's just gonna be like really, really scenic. Or maybe just a biome that has a lot of mining, or mineable spots. Like, give us something that's like kind of like the dunes, but it's not so much like a desert wasteland type thing, but more of a oh, and I've already scanned this one. All right, more of like just a very rocky exposed terrain, and because of like erosion or something, it's got a lot of exposed like deposits, mineral deposits, like the place to go to get stuff. But you have to go through like a little dangerous area. Maybe make it where there's some kind of creature that stays over there, or make it where certain ones like squid sharks, they go there to spawn offspring. That's like their spawning ground. So you encounter them there. They're not there to eat. They're there just to make little squid sharks. So that would justify having them in that area, but not make it where, well, where's their food source so much? They're going there just to spawn in babies. And here we are, we're at Omega Outpost. I still feel like we should take over existing outposts. Make that an option. There's what was it? Dragona's Retreat. It's a mod for original Subnautica that I played. It's not really so much a mod, it's a game save that's set up with all these bases you can, that basically are yours, and they're all damaged and flooded. So you go around and you can fix them up, which is what I did. Strip them down for parts. It was like the Dagazi bases, we should have been able to get stuff from them. Even though they're rusted, we should be able to use them as a way to get materials if you wanted to. I feel like we should be able to do that with these bases. Should at least be able to go in and take over like Omega base and say, I'm going to build here. It seems like a missed opportunity in terms of how the game's put together. Could even be part of the storyline. You're meant to not only get to Omega base, but you're actually meant to go and take over Omega base, fix the power issues or whatever, and use it as a base of operations as part of the story. That they definitely should have something like that in the game. That's just, in this case, since we have existing bases and it's not like we crash landed here. Just happened to find somebody else that crash landed here. It's a whole operation. We should be able to use the old bases. We should be able to take them over. Doesn't mean we have to do that with Marguerites, but the regular bases we should be able to take and use. Man, there's like no outcroppings. Alright then, I guess we're going back. Not having the luck I would like to have finding resources, which has become the normal thing for this game now, is It's not like I just go one place and, hey, look, tons of stuff to turn into titanium. I guess we're going there. Yeah, the vent garden base will be good. It should be closest. Update coming late April. I mean, I'm excited to see how the beginning of the new story stacks up to the current version in Sable, like what the new changes are bringing. As far as anything beyond that, I'm not really so concerned with at the moment. I'm concerned with what's the story going to change into. How does the new start of the story feel compared to what we already received? Because if it feels like it's not as good, it's going to set the tone for the remaining updates, you know. If it feels lacking by comparison, then you're going to, you know, it's going to be kind of, well, I guess I shouldn't have too high hopes for it. But if it turns out to be like, wow, this is so much better, this puts it, you know, in the range of original Subnautica, then it's gonna make things be like, yeah, wow, this is great. This is the kind of what we should have gotten originally for this game. And I see some scans over here. Yes. I thought I cleared everything from this area, but apparently I still have some scans that have shown up. At least a little bit more titanium from that. It's funny how many pieces of equipment are scattered everywhere, but there's no metal salvage like normal, you know, original game metal salvage scattered everywhere. We've got pieces of thermal plants scattered all over this place, but not pieces of just the metal wreckage from the explosion that rained down from the sky. You know, I feel like they need to add that back in just for it looking correctly with the fact that we had stuff fall from the sky. It's not like how many pieces of thermal plant are they really gonna leave just laying around on the ground? Like, we got plenty, don't worry about that extra one. That's only piece number 25 you've left laying around. It's fine. No, they'd be like, you're wasting resources. Go get that. I feel like they've got to be bringing in regular, even if it's not metal salvage, like we've got the metal salvage being used for the radio repair. Even if it's just scrap metal. Just call it scrap metal, and you're doing the same thing. It's titanium. Or change it so we have metal salvage, like in the original game, and then instead of it being metal salvage, you have some kind of electronic name component for fixing the radio tower type thing that you have to get from the old ship wreckage. That would make a little more sense to me if it was something like, oh yeah, we're getting this old circuit board out of here and using that. Then that might fit a little better than just, you're getting some metal and fixing this. I think I've got enough silver on board to eat. And we definitely need to make sure to take some melon seeds on this trip for the new base. I think I'm just gonna use marble melons entirely at the new base. The new fruit, yes, it gives you health, which is nice, but there's not really any aggressives in the Deep Lilypad that I'm worried about. So it's not like I'm gonna be taking health damage constantly. So I feel like I just want to worry about the best balance of food and water, which is the marble melons. Since you can't plant heat fruit right now. Maybe we'll get that in the next update. Be nice. Give us heat fruit planting capability. More aggressive Leviathans? I would agree it'd be good to have some more aggressive Leviathans if they fix it where they cannot glitch through walls. That's the biggest problem I have with it. Is I'm tired of having an aggressive Leviathan come after me from inside of a wall. That if they fixed that where they could not glitch through walls, I'd be okay with a more aggressive Leviathan option. But that's the problem I have right now with it, is I don't want a more aggressive Leviathan because they're gonna glitch through walls and come after us. And that's when you're going to be killed by one because you couldn't see it coming. I've had that happen with the Shadow Leviathan. There was one that got stuck inside a wall and he only came out to attack and then go right back in the wall. I've had at, where is it? This nearby base, Ghost Pepper base, had one of the Chelicerates get stuck in the wall and attacked me inside that area where he should not have been able to get into. And it was only because he had glitched into the wall that he was able to get in there and attack me. That's the whole point of that base, was it's hidden, it's secure, and then it wasn't secure anymore. So, more aggressive? Sure, I'm fine with that. But fix the problem with the glitching through walls thing. That just doesn't work. We need that taken out if that's going to be the case. Alright, so we're going to stick with large room, hatch, obviously, and because of where we are, there's no hotspots that I know of, so we're not going with thermal. We're not going to do a solar drop down, so it's nuclear or bio. And I'm thinking I'm just going to start with a bioreactor because I don't see a huge amount of power need for a smaller base. And okay, let's see. So silver, and we'll just have to go outside. I don't have any seed clusters or lubricant already made. And then we'll need extra, of course, titanium for, we'll be doing this. There, we'll just do a nice external grow bed. For that, we'll need internal grow bed for our marble melons. I was gonna make an extra one right now. There we go. Oh, and I had a titanium ingot I could have used. Alright, so yeah, we need just 3 titanium for that. I got enough for that part. I don't have enough for that and exterior grow bed and interior grow bed. So we'll still need to get some more on the way. Now we'll go ahead and eat again. Take some seeds, and let's think, what else? What else? I'm trying to think what I might want. Oh yeah, we'll need that, but I think I've got enough quartz. I could get quartz on the way, that's fine. I should have enough quartz. If not, I know I've got copper. I've got plenty of copper. We might grab some more quartz on the way. And then we'll come back after I get some of the basic stuff going. Then worry about getting all the stuff for Moonpool. Good afternoon, William. Thanks for joining in. Yeah, original game. It wasn't just the Sea Dragon Leviathan. It was also like the Reapers would do it. Ghost Leviathans did it to me as well. Ghost Leviathan was really bad in the in that junction between in the Lost River, right above the drop down into the inactive lava zone tunnel. It glitched into the wall, and look at my I got attacked, and now I've got a visual glitch happening again. Alright. Feels almost like on a heads-up display, like I'm putting on an Iron Man suit. Like, this is what I see before the heads-up display kicks on. I totally feel there should be some kind of... We should have some horizon level on this, you would think. Something to say if you are level, or if you're, like, looking up beyond just that little thing that glitched there. And there goes my hand thing glitching too. But, how was I saying? Yeah, the Ghost Leviathan Lost River, I had it glitch and get stuck in the ceiling where it would not come out and attack me anymore. I've had, of course, the Sea Dragon get stuck. I actually attacked the Sea Dragon, causing him to glitch into the wall and then get stuck and not come back out, which was actually beneficial in the end. But yeah, if they could fix that, it'd be great. I've had the Sea Dragon come out of the wall and attack me in the tunnel because he could see me through the wall. So they would need to fix that before they put in a more aggressive Leviathan, because that's just going to spell disaster. You're just going to be attacked when you can't see it otherwise. And I know they allow that because they don't want to worry about one of the, like, the big ones getting stuck somewhere, because they go chasing you into a tunnel and then they get stuck, can't get out. But, you know, they could do a thing where if, like, the Leviathan gets stuck and stops moving for, or gets stuck in that place for too long, have it respawn in another place. And would like to have a trigger option for cut off the afterburner before the time's up. Well, I'm getting stuck. Alright, so I needed some quartz. We're about to get quartz if I can get out. Another problem there with the sea truck. The docking module just does not work very well at all. Happy Saturday, Randy. Thanks for joining in. Yeah, Sea Dragon will shoot fireballs through the wall. He'll come out of the wall and swipe at you. It just does not work. They would have to fix that if they're going to add any more aggressive Leviathans, or they're just going to get people complaining about, well, I was doing fine and my, sea truck got destroyed with me in it because the blah 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 Leviathan came out of the wall and one-shot me. That's exactly what would happen. They would just get complaints because of coming out of the wall and destroying their stuff. Oh, that's too slow in this little spot. Let's just do this. I don't think I need any ruby, but it's, at least if I do, it's close by. There we go. And a wayward spore that I did not collect in the past, surprisingly. We gotta make sure we build in a place, unless stuff has respawned, there's gonna be some spots where I have cleared the spores pretty much completely out of the area. There's gonna be nothing like that decorative around. So we gotta make sure we build in a spot that has some active spores in place. Otherwise, this is not going to look as exciting as it could. Oh, there we go. Full inventory. I gotta make sure I don't land on the sea truck, because then I'll knock, you know, 70% of the health off of a module. Or the sea truck, the main sea truck compartment. I've hit the back of the sea truck and it damaged just the front module. Nothing to the actual module I landed on, just the front cabin module. I would like to keep it kind of in this area though, because we're right below the way in. Ooh, I wonder if it'll let me actually build around that right there. Like, what if I built, wonder if it'll let me build a ring of connections, or, you know, as much as I can, a ring of connections that goes through it. And no flower spores. That's like the most concentrated looking cluster there. No, we'll stick with what I've got. That should be enough to get me inside. And ooh, wait, no, I won't have power, will I? That's not enough titanium, I think. So let's drop quartz. And I can drop some silver and the gold. Yeah, that's cutting a little close. There we go. That should be enough. That should get me at least hatch, bioreactor, and maybe interior grow bed. I didn't really pay that much attention to the count. But let's just see. What can I do to build here? Okay. Alright, so I can build down here. I can build through the trunk as long as I am close enough to the ground. Oh, okay. Alright. I'm saving because I have a feeling this is going to end up messing up the terrain. Possibly. Yep. I broke the terrain. So we're not going to use that. We'll revert back. Save before you do something like that. Alright, S-Boss, thanks for hanging out. Enjoy your day, or evening, or morning, whatever time it is for you. Timmy! Timmy, say goodbye. Or say hello to everybody else that's not having to leave. How about that? Say hi. He's really tired today. He had a very filling breakfast. Is that right? He had bacon and egg. Actually, like, I made a bacon egg cup for me and him. And he had one, and then he decided to eat a bunch of his kibble, too. So he's, like, fat and happy today. Is that right? Because you probably shouldn't get that many treats now, right? Good thing these are low-calorie creature pellets. Alright, can you say hi? Can you wave hi? Say hi. No? Who's my buddy? Well, who's my buddy then? Who's my buddy? Come on, put it up. Who's my buddy? Who's my buddy? Come on. Who's my buddy? Who's my buddy? He's not my buddy today. He's like, you know who I'm your buddy. Alright, we'll do this again. We're not destroying the terrain. We're gonna build around the terrain in a hopefully non-destructive way. You know what? I wonder where I need to start at. I can do like, okay, that. I can build there. Too early. There we go. Like, go up. Okay, so I can build like that. Oh, nope. Usually it lets me go too high before it cuts off. That's weird. We need to have enough clearance so we can get a moon pool set up in here. Let's see. That feels like a good height there, about like that. Maybe go a little above it. Maybe can it let me do it? Oh yeah, now it lets me build that. Let's see. Don't want to break this. So it looks like if I don't want to break that, I don't need to build that high. Or I need to build it out a little bit, like that. Yeah, that should be good, right? Or too tall, too high up. Wish they would do like No Man's Sky and give you some kind of building drone, unmanned vehicle type thing that you can use. Take that out. I want to see how it does the support legs. None. Haha. No legs. It's a floaty base for now. All right, we're gonna do a hatch. Well, actually, we're gonna do it from the side. That way, I'll leave the outer face open for stuff like, of course, moon pool.
Emergency power only.
And it may end up being a case I
Oxygen
decide to build
offline.
a second level here if I get enough supplies for it. We're gonna do a bioreactor over here. Yeah, that's a good little spot. And oh, you know what? Just because, well, I don't know. Maybe we'll use that as like a storage area type of thing. We'll do the grow bed back here. I can always rebuild it later. You know what? I'm gonna put it like this because it's such a problem to chop melons when it's right next to the wall. Now, I think if I build on this, I'm going to build down, not up. So, we'll do... I think that... There we go. I think that's pretty much close to middle. So, let's grab shrooms that we cannot farm, unfortunately. At least as of right now, it's not giving an option to cut them for spores or anything. Organic items. I feel like I tried that already and realized it's not. That's why it's not working. It doesn't treat it as an organic item, which, you know, makes no sense. It's an inorganic shroom. Well, you don't eat shroom, kids. Yeah, you never know what they're made of. I think they just have it out for shrooms, really. I don't like people who eat shrooms. Do I have any tips for starting YouTube? Yeah, make sure you are doing it because you like the idea of producing videos or live streaming, same as Twitch. Don't do it if you're thinking, I'm going to do this and make tons of money. Do it because you want to do it. If you're doing it because you want to make money, you're gonna realize that you've got to treat it as just another job. It doesn't mean it has to be fun. I mean, yeah, you might could do something that's fun and still make a lot of money. But if your entire reasoning is to make money, then you need to be prepared for putting in a lot of work that you may not enjoy. That's why I play games I enjoy on the channel, because I want to make sure I still enjoy myself and not do stuff that I'm finding like just, oh, I don't want to play this game. You know, if I was only concerned with making money, I would have just, as soon as the Subnautica stuff took off, I would have just dropped every other game and done just Subnautica. And I've seen a YouTuber do that sort of thing. I've seen a couple of them do it, and they burn out on the game and they stop enjoying themselves, and then their channel tanks when they try to change to a different game. So you just gotta make sure you're doing it because you want to do it, or that you know from the beginning you're doing it as a business and treating it like any other job. It's not something that you have to enjoy. It's something you're doing for fun, or you're doing it because you want to make money and you're willing to do it for a while without making money. Beyond that, you know, you don't have to decide right away. Like, I didn't decide I was going to be more building games and survival games. It's just kind of what drew me in with other players, watching their gameplays. I was like, you know, I like this stuff. I think this is what I'm going to do. And I tried it. Of course, I tried different games too, and occasionally I want to play a game that's not a survival crafting building type game. Sometimes I just want to play a regular plain, you know, first person shooter or something like that. But I kind of fell into, you know, my style being I do the survival building type games. So, you know, try a few different things that interest you at first, and then find what works best for you on the channel and what you enjoy doing over and over and over again. Because you're going to be doing this a lot. And then, you know, after that, it's just get started. Don't wait till you have the perfect camera. Don't wait until you have the perfect microphone. Don't wait until you know how to do all this video editing. Just start. Because if you wait for it to be perfect, you'll never actually get going. Every time you think you're about ready, you'll find something else. You say, that's not quite ready. I'm embarrassed by it. I don't want to start. Just get started. And then get better as you go along. That's the biggest thing. I see too many people that really could probably do YouTube, do Twitch, and probably end up doing well, but they're afraid to start because they think that their stuff's not good enough. And look what we found. Another little spot here with some eggs. So I might have to do a alien containment on this base. Oh, so there's not a lot of fish down here. They just get choked on the spores everywhere. Let's see, is there another little hidden recess over here? No. Well, that's what, 2 places in just these caves that I found. The, you know, what are they called? Eggs. And then I've got the ones I found in the was Ice Spires area. I got the yellow ones down here, I guess because everything's kind of yellow orangish down here, and then you got the blue ones because they're frozen to death. Lay on top of a frozen, you know, like lake or stream, and yet still alive somehow. That's what's funny about that. Yeah, I got room here. We'll drop those. Okay, so power going. So much extra junk I'm not going to need right now. So let's make sure I've got. Yep, I've got everything for that. So we'll go ahead and get at least the fabricator going because I will need to make stuff.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
Alright, so that's growing. So we're gonna have food soon. We're gonna have we got some power going. I want to do something for power here. I might be doing all creepvine up here then as a, like, using that and see how well that handles the power production down here, since the mushrooms are not organic. This is also the perfect spot to have, like, an extended moon pool, or make it where we do like a moon pool. Like, again, they need to make it where you can rotate the moon pool too. That would be really beneficial. But have it where it's rotated lengthwise, connects here. You build a second one that connects here, and it ties them together over like it merges them in the middle and creates a single connection off of that. Or just give us an option to extend the moon pool out so that it can accommodate, let's say, you know, sideways, that's 1, 2, 3, up to 4 modules. So the main sea truck and then 3 more modules on it that can dock all together, and have it where if you build it that way, it creates like 1 there and 1 there type connector, as opposed to 2 side by side. If you do 3, it does 1 in the middle. Just, we need something like that, you know, kind of the way No Man's Sky does scaling on some items for base builds. Give us the ability to scale certain things like the moon pools. That would just be fantastic. That's really, I think they need to do that, because we're stuck with the sea truck, and the sea truck needs a bigger moon pool. Magnetite, but not a huge amount of just outcroppings down here. This is not the most resource-packed area. Nothing there. I'm just waiting for us to get some kind of creature that lives in these flowers. I mean, they got mouths on them. Look at that. I feel like there's gonna be something. Maybe not the, like, the eel, crab, eel, snake thing. Nothing that big. But something that, it doesn't even have to be like it lays the eggs in there. Something that's just, like, it's a symbiotic parasite. Like, it eats parts from the flower, or it subsists off of what the flower generates, like spore-wise or whatever, so it lives inside the flower for shelter and sustenance, and comes out to defend the flower if it thinks that there's a threat to the flower. Something like that would be cool. Look, somebody let a bunch of spores inside. I'm not saying who, might have been me, but you know, somebody did it. It's more of those environmental effects that just happen regardless of being inside. Same thing with like being in the glacial basin when it snows. You get the whiteout effect inside the base where all the plants turn white-ish. Alright, we need to do windows on that side because we're right next to this, so we gotta have a good view on that side. Not so much over here of good view, but right there. We need that direction needs to have a good view. And I'm not so concerned this time, I think, with privacy. I don't think we need to worry so much about somebody looking in as I'm showering in this base. So if I do anything, I'll build like another level down below. That'll be like the... We'll move the bioreactor downstairs with the power production downstairs. Let this be the main level. So we'll do one there, and I need, of course, glass. Yo, Visser Kyle, how's it going? Thanks for joining in. Yes, tri-valves. Thank you, Aliash. And I'm trying to remember to say that right now. Good afternoon, Prime Sonic. Thanks for joining in. Glad to have you as always. Quarantine is treating me okay. I mean, I am missing being able to go and eat out. I mean, you know, I could go get like food from a drive-thru, but it's not the same. And okay, that's not going to work. We're gonna have to do a reinforcement there. But yeah, I miss being able to just go and get like like sit down and eat, you know, at a restaurant. There's some places that, you know, if you want to get food now, it's pretty much you go up, you place your order, and then they bring it out to you, like curbside. They won't let you go in, which is, you know, they're being smart. But still, it's kind of that whole, I'm ready for this to kind of be resolved so things can go back to semi-normal. I don't think it'll ever go back to the same normal that we've had, but at the least get back to the point of it being somewhat normal. I'm just ready for that to happen. Now, window and window. That actually did not pan out quite as well as I had hoped. The good views are right here on the outside one, so we'll go take these out. I might use that to separate out some stuff. Actually, yeah, we can do that. We can do some separations then. We'll do partition. Just gonna burn through titanium. Yep. Wish they would kind of do it like, get rid of the mount points and just let you span it more. Like that whole, you got this point here and then that little point and then that. Let's just, you know, let's just make it a little bit more. Yes, it snaps, but it doesn't have to snap to that one tiny little piece there. If you want to do it that way, great. Let you do it that way. But I think they could adjust it a little bit more to spread a little bit more readily, so you're not burning through so much the titanium just to get that one little piece. Or adjust it so the titanium use, the cost, reflects how much space you're using. So like if you use the short piece, it's 1 titanium. The longer piece is 2 titanium. Sort of thing. Too much gold. Alright, we're getting... Just in case, you know, I changed my mind and decided I need to. We can do nuclear. We've got some supplies for that. There we go. Now talking about
Seek fluid intake
wanting to get food in quarantine. Here's what I miss. I miss being able to go out and eat sushi. Go sit down at the sushi bar, hang out, talk to the sushi chef while they fix my food. You know, get to watch them do all the fanciness of fixing sushi the correct way. I miss that. I miss that more than just going out and getting regular food. Alright, we'll get at least this done. And of course I need a door, and I've got quartz just on the sea truck. And then I'll have to get, hopefully my food is about ready. Getting so much extra stuff that I don't really need right now. I say that, and then I'll end up getting where I need it, and I'll have dropped it off at other base or something.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
There we go. Alright. Food is ready. I'm gonna... Okay. There we go. Plant. For 2 of them.
Stabilizing.
And eat. Let's see, how am I doing? Alright, so 1... Is it starfish? Looks like a starfish. Oh, it's a spinner fish, right? Whatever. Fidget. The fidget fish. Because it's a fidget spinner. Okay, it's still growing. I couldn't remember if it was 67 or 68%, I think, where it stops growing if you don't have enough height. So that should be grown by the time I get back. Got processing. I'm definitely going to need some power, like battery recharging. That's a definite for this one. So, you know what? I got the silver. I think I got copper still. Let's go ahead and make that. But don't forget to bring that titanium and that stuff back. Yeah, silver. Okay. Do copper. And we're good to go. Oh yeah, the other big room, the partitions can interfere with the building. That's right. I know it. I think it usually interferes with the building more if it's like you build it when something's incomplete. Because I've had it where I couldn't build like even a reinforcement or window on the outside because of nothing other than something being not completely built. And yeah, it is messing up with it. Alright, I'll take those out when I get back. Just that way is the materials there. I can take it out. And I think we will. Actually, I think we could get away with the one room. Because, I mean, I don't need a lot of storage down here. It's not like there's tons of supplies down here. I've got the food production kind of set up in there. Actually, I could use a little storage in there right now. So I got quartz and yeah, titanium. We'll go do this, and that way I can leave. Actually, I'm not even gonna do that. I'm just gonna take all this back with me, and maybe, you know, I might need something else. That I'll leave like some stuff in. Like obviously it's helping with the silver, but I don't need that much silver right now. So that will be grown by the time I get back, hopefully spawning in some seeds. We should have marble melons completely grown again by the time I get back. And yeah. So we'll get the stuff for the moon pool. That's the next big one. I think I want to get the moon pool. Now, I may need to bring some of my extra spores back since I've cleared so many of them from this area. So we can do some decorating around the base and make it look very vibrant. Hey, ghost pepper. There we go. We'll go to the ghost pepper. Well, if I can get around. It's surprising that a plant can stop the sea truck from moving. Especially something that looks like that. You'd think I would just plow through it, but no. Welcome back, Xbox. How am I holding up without mods? Well, I mentioned earlier, I would say the biggest thing I miss right now from modded Subnautica is probably the decorations mod. I mean, yes, the auto sort would be amazing. Easy craft would be really great to have again, so I could just be like, oh, I've got these supplies here and it's pulling from them. Of course, I don't have as much storage capacity with the, you know, pitiful sea truck storage module design. But I would say in terms of the base building, what I'm missing most is the decorations. Because I mean, I'm finding supplies to build stuff, but it's like even this base, I have open space inside of this that I haven't built in because I ran out of stuff to build. I ran out of decoration options for it. I miss having the decorations mod for the base building because it actually gives a lot more options to the game in terms of base building than what the vanilla game has, and it's just really, the devs should be adding more stuff like that built into the game because of how many players like to build extensively in the game, and that's the replay value for them. I mean, we'd see they've taken stuff like the fridge idea, you know, that modders created. So it's nice that we have that in this game now. But I'm still hoping for, you know, something more. So, I mean, even now, there's no glass jars, glass containers, things like that that I can get because they haven't put that in the game yet. And that's really surprising that we don't have that in the game right now. I feel like that should have been an easy thing to add in, just to have it, even at some of the other ones where you can pick it up, you know, to use. I feel like that's a big miss right now. Of course, it's not important to get in the game yet, but it's definitely something they need to put in the game at some point. Alright, you know what? We're gonna drop, yeah, granite crystal, the nickel, stuff like, well, the lithium, I'm probably gonna take back with me. Silver, I got plenty on there. Why am I doing that? So I have a spot for silver. Oh my god, all that stuff. You'll put that there, and then I think, yeah, I've got plenty of gold. Need more uses for gold in the game right now. The big use was always the power transmitters, but there's not enough thermal hotspots for really using the power transmitters right now. I've used it more for working with solar panel setups, you know, solar farms. Like the one that's somewhere up there. It's somewhere up that way. I've got a solar farm. That's part of what the base is using for power. We'll leave 2. There's more magnetite there. Yeah, we'll leave that. There's more nickel there. We'll leave those because I'll need quartz and probably copper. So now the problem is supplies for moon pool. We need moon pool. Let me drop these off. Oh, it actually is full. Okay. Aiming is still kind of bad in the game right now for targeting blockers next to each other. Oh, yeah, we're going to keep a couple here, but I'm going to take some back because we are low. And so 2 titanium ingots is going to be the problem. I got lead on there. We're going to be able to make lubricant when I get back. So it goes back again, titanium. I miss having a lot of titanium around. And that's not a mod. That's just the game. I don't think we're going to find much, but we'll try. I may have to make like a 3rd storage piece at some point, and we do like we did last time. Go around the back side of the mountain and go way, way off the map area. And I know it's picking up that one that's got like a piece embedded in the terrain. So I can't get to it. So yeah, it's not going to give me anything new titanium-wise. I can make that stuff. while I am at the base. I just need to find enough titanium. So grab... Oh, wait, never mind. I just need to make one now. I keep forgetting about that one, and now I saw it. So I've got that. I'll leave that to charge. That way I've got some spare batteries to keep at the other base. No, we'll go ahead. While I'm here, we'll go ahead and take it. I don't think I'm going to need any gel sacks there or ribbon plants, but I'll go ahead and take one of these. Or 3 of these. And I'm just going to go ahead and do all sea cluster style creep vine. So that it's just, you know, fully loaded for that. So now we put these back. What, not that one. There we go. Yeah, that should be enough. And we'll just have to go find... We'll just have to find some titanium on the way back. Five more titanium. That's what I need. Just to make sure I don't use up everything I've got. Alright, Isaac. Thanks for hanging out. Take care. Welcome back, William. Base buddy robot drone for auto harvesting and other tasks while you're away. I would say that's kind of interesting. I think if they were going to do anything for auto harvesting, they should do what like a lot of the other games have done, where you have a deployable mining thing. It'd be really cool to have it where it's like, okay, yeah, you have the prawn suit, you can drill, but what if they said, you know what, we're going to give you another option, which is you can build this little piece that goes over top of it. It has to snap to the big outcropping, and it produces with a higher efficiency, so you get more out of it. It still destroys the outcropping, but you get more. Having a drone would be kind of cool. I don't think we would get that sort of thing, just because of that you're sending it out to break outcroppings, you know, telling it to recognize the different ones. You know, it might be a question of how they program that. And it's just more of that, you know, automating stuff, which, I mean, considering how much they want people to play the story, that might actually be a good idea for them to put in, just because that would let you focus more on the story while you got this thing doing all the harvesting for you. But I think it would be kind of a little bit of the problematic, maybe at programming it the right way. And let's just face it, you get attacked when you're out gathering stuff. Why would you not have that drone being attacked? It goes out, it gets destroyed, and you don't get any response back that it's been destroyed. Or, you know, I'm gonna leave that gold. Or, you know, a sea monkey, mischievous little sea monkey, grabs it, takes it back to the nest, and it runs out of power before it can get back, and then you just happen to stumble across it later. I don't think a small drone would work. I think they'd have to do basically a deployable mining type thing. Something like that could work. And of course they could always say, you know what, we're going to update things so the terrain is going to have, like we got the mineral detector type thing, little handheld one. What if we had to use that instead of a portable find supplies, because it really is bad compared to the scanner room. It's so much power drain in comparison to find one little piece, and you have to be in a certain range of it for it to pick up. No, I think they should do that as a, like, maybe the scanner room could detect their, you know, look for mineral deposit, and not have it say a certain type, just mineral deposit be the generic thing, and it finds something, and then you have, or it gives you an area, and it's not exact, but it gives you an area. Or have it be that, like No Man's Sky, you can scan it and detect where it is, and you can see where the center of it is, so you go to the center of what's supposed to be the deposit, and then you have to use the the detector to do a true scan and figure out what it is, and allow you to build the extractor on top of that spot. Maybe something like that. I just don't think we'd see that happen. It'd be so much easier for them just to reintroduce metal salvage in terms of just being a regular collectible that is not specific to story elements and is just used to make titanium. It'd just be so much easier for them to do that I don't see it being justifiable to add a auto mining type of setup to the game. It'd be like, why not just throw this back in, let people do like they used to do? And again, that goes back to, are they going to do that to accommodate people who like to build big? Or are they going to stick more with what they seem to be doing, which is pushing people to just do the story and not worry about having a really big base type of thing? So I think in the end, the best bet for that sort of thing is going to be a mod. FC Studios, can't remember the exact name, but it's a mineral extractor mod that I used in the original Subnautica in the last season. Something like that. Is you deploy it in an area and it mines whatever resources are in that area for you. I think that's going to be the most likely thing we will get in terms of what you're saying, and not be like it just goes around automatically gathering. Let's go on down. More of the modders are working on the Atlas. I mean, I would just be happy to see the Cyclops back in here. I think even the Cyclops, you know, and I remember seeing something about somebody was saying the reason the devs are avoiding the Cyclops is because there's areas where it cannot get into. Okay, fine. There's areas in the original game where it really can't maneuver into that well. It has a chance of getting stuck. Still didn't stop them from having it available. I think it's just an excuse to say, we don't want to use the Cyclops, we want you to use the Sea Truck. Period. I've seen nothing to indicate we're going to get anything on top of the Sea Truck in terms of a new vehicle design. Though I think we should, because Sea Truck's just not there. It just really isn't. But, I mean, if some modders will put in the Atlas, go ahead, you know, but there are going to be places where they're going to be stuck dealing with unable to get it into that area because you don't have room. So that's going to be a problem. The Manta sub, see, that could be useful there, you know, something like that. Something that's in between could be good. But yeah, the Sea Truck needs a major overhaul. I mean, it's not just a matter of it's still buggy with the animations and things like that. It needs an overhaul just based on the fact that it is just not a realistic design in terms of what a company would do with this. You know, they're not going to put something together that is going to be meant for deep sea diving without having the maximum usage of the space available, and this would not fly. They would say, why have that open space? Are we sitting down on this? No. That's storage space that's not being utilized. They would have every inch of space used up. The same as sending a rover to Mars. You're not going to sit there and have an empty space on there because you think it looks nice. You're going to be like, we're seeing this millions and millions of miles away from the Earth. We want it to have everything it might possibly need. It doesn't matter how it looks. It matters how it functions. And it'll be the same thing for a submarine. Maybe the outside looks nice, but inside it's all about the business of getting stuff done. Not... Oh, wait, I need to go plant stuff. It's not about how it looks inside. It's about how it functions inside. So they need to overhaul this just because it does not follow that logic. The storage space is not as maximized as it should be. You got a completely empty wall around the fabricator or across from the fabricator and fabricator module, and then you have a big blank space around the fabricator. It's like, why is the fabricator module just the fabricator on the wall? Why is it not a fabricator and a battery charger, or a fabricator and then say a wall-mounted version of the modification station? Or give you a spot where you build the fabricator and then it has mounting snap points on the wall, so when you unlock it, you can build the modification station next to it. And then on the opposite wall, you can build a power cell charger, or, as I said, a power cell connection point where instead of it charging power cells, it's actually used to power the fabricator module independently. Because, I mean, once you disconnect the sea truck, the main cabin module, you can't do anything with it. Oh, I forgot to grab the lead. So that just, you know, those two modules alone don't make sense. Just from a gameplay standpoint, the sleeper module is purely cosmetic, other than it speeds up nighttime. There's no need to sleep, so you don't really need it. It's really, and the fact that it's for music too is cosmetic. This should be more than just a big screen to eject the vehicle. If that's going to be the only use for this, take that out. It doesn't need to be there. You just need a little lever to eject the vehicle. Instead, give us a screen that lets us interact with the storage on the docked prawn suit and get stuff out. Have it like deposit stuff, or have some kind of connection thing here that lets you access it. Because once you dock it, you can't access the storage on it when you're out swimming, and that makes no sense either. It needs to have something where we can access stuff. So yeah, there's just, they need to go back and say, does this actually make sense from a realistic standpoint? Or is it just us trying to make it look nice and be cosmetically fancy? Because cosmetically fancy does not need to be the focus. You need to have it where it actually makes sense from a realistic standpoint. We'll drop one here, because that's in a nice view spot. You know, we'll put one about here. There we go. That should give us a nice little view. We got that growing. That means I do have room for a little bit extra if I need more. We've got power. And that's still not completely gone. Well, let's see. And we'll need 2 of those. That means next time I just need to chop 2 of them. And be good. And we've got something for that. I can always... You know what? If I really wanted to, I don't think anybody's going to get in where they can see. So I could put the bed, like, right here. You know, like, we'll go with this fancy single bed if we do that. We'll do, like, a bed right there. And see with that, yeah, you might see a little bit, but it's not, like, bad. That might need to come out, actually. Wish you could mount it, like, right here. The bioreactor going on the side would be a lot better. Have it over there to the side instead. Yeah, I think I'm still... Just because there's not enough decoration stuff, we'll stick with this configuration. And look, I've got legs on it, or a leg coming off of the moon pool now. I guess it was like, that's close enough. We'll make a leg here. Okay, so that's just a little piece of ground that's there, you know, some terrain sticking up. I was like, don't tell me that's salt. I think we need like a bunch of the spores just laying around right here. I think that's a good thing to have. I think we might go grab some spores. Also, that's another good thing right there. I've said before, the whole idea of the disconnect switch there great, you could drop all of them, but one of the things they said that's for is to drop it so you can gain speed back and get out of a sticky situation. It doesn't help when you have to stop, eject from the little control panel, you know, control setup thing, and then reach over, hit that, then grab that again. The whole is so you can get out quickly. That doesn't work. It needs to be, oh yeah, this is so you get out quickly, so to accommodate that, we have given you a hotkey for this. Then that's the case. There should be a hotkey option for that. I think I must have gone through this whole area too, getting spores. I've got plenty of gold. We'll leave the gold to roll around a bit. Ah, some quartz. Oh, see one over there. Also don't, I mean, I like that it saves time with, if you're just in the sea truck, it ejects you right out. Like, oh yeah, you're not going to interact with anything, so you're just planning to get out, but it feels like it should have the animation still, climbing out, because that's what you're doing. So I don't get why it's more like the sea moth in that situation where you're just in the main cabin, and then when you add another module, suddenly it acts like its own vehicle. You know, it's a separate thing than the sea moth. But when it's by itself, it's more like it's just the sea moth of this game. And it's like, yeah, it just jumps me right out, like I'm just jumping out the hatch. You know, super legs, Mr. Spicy, just, you know. I should be in the, not the NBA. It'd be like the SBA, the Space Basketball Association. I've got like super legs if I'm just jumping right out the hatch that way. So they need to add the animation to that part in, to where you're climbing out, even though it's just the standalone module. Maybe we'll have the next update also add in depth module upgrades for the prawn suit, so we can actually go deep enough to mine some of these deposits that are there that we can't get to without taking damage. Ooh, we got all the columns here. I think I actually want to leave those right there. Other than getting down to this, being a little bit extra trip, and the whole maze type aspect to this, that actually could have been a better place to build, because you've got the spores, or the flowers, the flower shrooms showing there, and you also have the 4 columns of the precursor tech. So no heat coming out of that. It's actually surprising that it's not even producing any kind of heat. I would think that would be... Well, I mean, it's a plant. It's not like it's body heat, but we've got heat producing plants here. I feel like with all these other plants having that kind of theme, it's kind of weird that this plant doesn't have that theme. See, that's the animation. It should happen all the time for that. We'll drop there. Yeah, we're just gonna scatter all around down in here. Make this look nice. Because, you know, it's not always about the base. Sometimes it's about the environment that the base is in. Oh, actually, we'll throw one, like, right here, too. Just so we'll get maybe a little bit of that glow in there. And then, yeah, we'll just throw, you know, right here. So let's see. How does that look now? Yeah. Looks a little bit better. So it has some stuff going on.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
Oh, yeah, they're right there. Yeah, that does add at least a little bit. I mean, it's a subtle but very nice change. It does make some stuff pop a little bit more. And you see that vibrant color thanks to the filmic grading. There's neutral. Oh, that really does look so bland now. Oh, that's off. Okay, that's off. It looks dull. And neutral looks very just like it's not so much dull, it's bright, but it's bland. Like there's not enough color variation. And then we got filmic, which has such a great contrast to it. I would say if you can handle filmic on your system, whatever graphic settings you're using, use filmic because it's so much better with that extra contrast to it. Okay. Oh, I need some storage, don't I? Probably a good idea to put in at least a couple of lockers. Or a locker, at least some, you know, some storage for some stuff. Actually, I might move the batteries into a wall locker. Yeah, let's just squeeze it right here in the corner. So like that. Spare batteries. And yeah, let's see. Still good on that. I'm getting hungry. There we go. There. They need to fix that. And that's been in the game since the original Subnautica. There we go. Alright. A nice little view. Now, nothing super fancy, just a nice view. We might be able to do some decorations. Yeah, it's that video game logic for, you know, just making it work easier instead of it being like, oh yeah, we actually have a double airlock thing or water has to be pumped out. It's like if you're sitting there almost about to die of lack of oxygen, you don't want to climb in and have to wait 30 seconds for it to pump water out so you can breathe. Yeah, filmic does make a big difference in that. Is that, I mean, film style contrast, but it does make a big difference. Hey, Dr. Bob, thanks for joining in. Maybe the guy drinks all the water. Yeah, the flooded base has a way to pump out water, but there's no water pumps that we see. So, you know, we don't see any mechanics like that. We've got to assume it's somewhere in the wall. Maybe there's like a grate we don't get visually in here that allows the water to be pumped out. And of course, even with that, at some point you're going to have still pools of water that didn't roll out appropriately, that didn't drain off. So somewhere we either have like holes in this that drain the water out, but this would not have a hole in it. So you still have some water left over, you would think. RC Gaming, thank you for the subscribe if you're with us. Yeah, Potato, the performance booster. Yeah, that is one I've actually looked at. I haven't really played with it myself just because I actually generally have good performance with the game. But that's done to tweak the way, I mean, from the description and from the way things work, you're probably going to see a better boost if you're using that, I would say, even the AMD processor. Just because AMDs, if you look, there's lots of, you know, benchmark comparisons showing this. AMDs work better with all the cores active. Intel's work better when some of the cores are active. And Unity-based games like Subnautica do not use all the cores at the same time. That's why I am sitting here looking at mine, and it's bouncing between different cores being active. Certain ones are being triggered for certain things. So you're going to see a bigger improvement, I would think, on performance with an AMD processor because it's going to adjust around trying to use different cores. But that's basically what the performance booster mod is supposed to do. It's supposed to tweak settings to better, you know, have the computer, your processor work better with the way Unity likes to use the gaming cores. And there's ways around it. I think it was even mentioned in it that you can use like prioritization to improve your performance, and this basically just takes away that aspect of having to do it. It does it for you. That's really all the performance booster is going to do, is tweak the way Unity and your computer interact to make the game perform better. I do know they say they're supposed to see, in some cases, almost a double frame rate increase. But, you know, it also goes back to, I guess, what system you already have. If you're struggling for frame rate, you're probably going to see a better boost than somebody like me. I probably won't see that big of a boost, honestly, because, I mean, this runs smoothly right here. It's only when I build big that I run into big problems in Subnautica. And more so when I build with a lot of decorative stuff in Subnautica. I feel like we could have a drilling option. Again, I know this goes back as the same thing as the terraformer, but having something to drill and build into a terrain, specifically as part of like the base components, would be cool. Because like right there, build inside that column. Of course, it goes back to the terrain, the terraformer gun. You remove stuff, when you leave the area, it regenerates that terrain. So it doesn't work long term unless you use it in a very tricky way like I did. I feel like I don't want to use any more fish in the bioreactor. They don't seem to be very popular down here, so I feel like I might need to actually go and get an alien containment built just for letting them repopulate. Maybe that's what we could do. We could be like, oh yeah, we're helping with the environment down here by producing more fish. We're letting them spawn in their own little habitat inside and then dumping them outside. I think we'll drop this in here somewhere. Let's just put it up here. There we go. Because I think this is going to give enough glow in the end once that really kicks in. And it's not as bright in this game as in the original, which is nice that they realize how bright it was in the original. You could have, if you had like 6 vine seed cluster plants that had full seed clusters, it would be really bright if you were like that close. Like this would be washed out. It would be so bright. Let's try putting these in. And we'll just let that go and see if maybe that might work in terms of the power production for it. Means we gotta drain some power. And the best way to do that is dock this. There we go. I don't know what else to put in. Really don't. We could do some beds or something like that. Wait, let me swap. Yeah, we'll just swap that one out. That'll help drain some power too. That's already burned. Or did it glitch? I did just put some creepvine seed clusters in there, right? Did it already burn through them? Let's try this again. I want to see.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
I want to say cold resistant 60 seconds. That's surprising that it's got 60 seconds on that. Okay, I'm getting back. RC, thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed the videos. Skylake 6700K. I have an i7 6700K. I have my full specs, listed in the About tab, but I have 32 gigs of RAM, which I'm only using just under 15 right now, but that's the game, that's Streamlabs OBS, that's a couple other things running, so I'm doing good on that. And then I have a GTX 1080, and it's running 40% on that right now. Granted, I am doing like this, and I'm running with the full stream everything. I'm hitting 50% on my CPU. So I'm not, I don't think I would see a huge improvement in like this kind of game setup with that performance booster. But if I was to be playing Subnautica in the modded variation that I have from the last live stream season, then yeah, I might see more improvement. It just depends on how it handles it, because even then I didn't see a lot of processor increase from what I'm using right now. But the game, I had to turn the graphics down just because of the way it was handling things with Unity, because I had so many different pieces from the mods, so many different things, in terms of calculations for the base build itself. All right, that's still draining. I think this is not draining anymore. Yeah, that's done. So maybe that's what happened. It was draining so fast that it just burned right through those. That's why I like having the overflow distributor mod in the original game when using the bioreactor, because yeah, put in something really good, Reginald's, Oculus, something like that in an alien containment. You let them get up to a good population level, and then it dumps the excess in. Depending on what fish you're using, weaker power fish, you might want to go with a double or triple stack. But I've seen it once I get into using, like with the Reginald Oculus, usually unless you need power quickly, a single stack level of the multi-purpose room with a containment is good enough. And hey, we got a, what is it, that triops? Is that the triops and the trivalve, I think, are the two similar named fish, right? Now, I saw a triops. Like, they saw me getting ready to leave, they got excited. Where'd they go? Seriously, I saw the little spinner fish. I saw, I think, what, the spine fish, and I saw a trivalve. Yeah, there we go. There they are. Come here.
New creature discovered.
Triops. Well, apparently I had never grabbed one of them in this game. That means we're gonna drop you. Come here. So I've scanned them, but I didn't really discover them because I never picked one up. That's the other thing. I think once you scan it, it should discover it. It should be the same thing. It should be, if you pick it up, discovered. You know, and then you scan it afterwards. But if you scan it first, then don't do that, you know? Alright, what else can we do in this base? Is there anything else I could do with this base right now? Beyond putting in just, you know, unnecessary cosmetic stuff like counters and things like that. Obviously, I don't need a lot of storage. Yeah, Creek Find only gives 70. I knew it was something low. I couldn't remember. But yeah, that's why I did that whole, you know, spreadsheet. And I just kind of, once I knew what worked, I stopped worrying about it. Of course, in this game, we don't have... We're obviously missing all the creatures we're going to be able to have. At some point, we're going to have more creatures added. Probably more plants added when they get some new biomes. I'm sure that's one of the reasons why we got empty biomes still. It's like, yeah, we're going to add some more stuff to it. So we'll probably see more creatures added, which is another reason why I'm not doing a breakdown video for that yet, because at some point I'm going to do it. 2 weeks later, they'll release an update, have a new creature in there, and all I'm going to see is comments about, what about this creature? So I will be doing those videos once we get close to that point of full release where they say, alright, we're doing bug fixes now. Or once they go full release. So yeah, we can build in here. Not sure why I'd want to build a fridge in here. Oh, you can do a shower in here. So, get out before you go inside. You gotta hop in the shower over here. Then you gotta come over here and wash your hands. Toilet. I'm not sure why you'd want to have the toilet right here as you're walking past, and like, I mean, you're just in the open. It's for when you really gotta go. Like, if you're not going to make it to the actual bathroom, that's where you go. Wonder. Oh, let's see. What? So, I'll have to take that one out. I can go like that across. What's funny is that, like, it's not actually lining up in the middle there. It lines up there. Just like I can build right here with this amount of space. So can I build a cramped toilet type thing? Yes. It's going to be a very cramped toilet, but I can make it work. Let's try that. I'm going to take... I'll have to take the reinforcement out in the back, which hopefully is not going to, like, just make it flip out. Oh, no. It's breaking. This even gonna let me do it? No, it's not. I'm gonna have to go in here. Oh, it sounds like they've improved upon the leaking aspect. Because I can actually hear it, like, it sounds like everything's really breaking now, not just somewhat, you know, like, oh, leaking. And I actually saw the leaks appearing. That's a bad place for a leak right there. Actually goes through the the battery charger.
Hull integrity restored.
And of course, it magically fixes the other leak. I feel like if they're going to show a visual leak, it should actually require a fix. Okay, so we got that. Now we need some quartz. And les toilettes. Oh, come on, I had it. Seriously. So you're gonna have to, I'm sorry, whoever stays here is gonna have to just face the wall while they're pooping. That's it. You're gonna just have to squeeze in there. Hope you're not overweight. Now we'll just do a sink as you come out type of thing. Sure, we'll do it like that. And I'm back out of titanium now. Right down to just this little bit. And that. See, can I... Well, I can go out further on that. Actually, we're gonna take... Well... Oh, there it goes. Take that out. We're gonna move this stuff. Well, like... Okay, so that's not gonna let me build it further out. That, yeah, that kind of is a problem if it's lining up like that. I feel like that shouldn't even work right there if I can't build off of that part. Alien containment. I'm not going to do alien containment on this one, just because I don't want to use the big space in this room for that. And, I mean, if I decide to build another one down below, I'll do that. But then I'm going to have to take all this stuff out, because it still doesn't work right with the partitions once they're placed, if you try to build above or below. And I just don't want to do a multi-purpose room at this point. I want to stay away from that. How's Timmy doing? Timmy is doing fine. Right, Timmy? He's messing up his bed. This was all nice earlier. And now you... Look at this. There you go. Is that what you wanted? Gonna be wrapped up? It was... not perfectly smooth, but it was laid out fairly flat, and now he's got it all curled up. I don't know why you're hungry. You already had such a special breakfast today. Alright, no spoiling dinner. So Timmy is fine. cuttlefish. We don't have cuttlefish in this game. Make a hotel? Well, I mean, I did make an entire base that had a zoo in the original game. Make a maze with partitions? That'd be kind of interesting. I think we would need a little bit more control over the partitions than what we get. But that could be an interesting approach. Actually, you know what? I think I am going to try another partition in here. Since it's not working so friendly on that side. Of course, that you can build along that. That's not snapping in the middle. It snaps on this side. But here, it snaps in the middle. You can't get it to build... See, like, it's not going to snap in there. It snaps there or there. I think it should be consistent. That and that. Or, if it's going to snap here, it should also snap like here. And here. And here. It should be split evenly. So I guess we'll do... Let's do a little bed here. And the fiber mesh. So is that the... That's just the regular sample, right? Where is it? Yeah, creepvine sample. Actually... Oh yeah, look at that glow. You know what we're gonna do? Go ahead and get some extra.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
There we go. And we'll chunk this in. That should last a little while since I'm really not charging much down here. We got a nice bed. Got a little bathroom for the toilet. Not enough room for a shower. I almost feel like it'd be perfect to have it where you can move the partition to here, like right in this area. So a little bit more room without it interfering with this. Without, you know, like that type of interaction. I think they're going to have to do some more work on the partitions in the end. Just, they've got to do something more to allow for better placement options. It just doesn't have the right versatility right now to really, like, make me want to use it. I'm using it because I don't have much else in the way of decorations right now. But I've got other bases where I've used no partitions in areas and they look good, actually. So I feel like they're going to have to do something to give a little bit more versatility to that. Yes, the snapping is nice, but other games have snapping too with certain elements. And then at the same time, still give you the option to put stuff in a custom place instead of having it snap that time. You know, it's not a strict split, which, you know, now that I think about it, I don't think there's anything in this game that you can place that snaps in some cases, but can also be placed freely without it snapping once you start building like a base. Like, you know, once you put down that first base piece, everything kind of lines up around that. And then the stuff you can freely place, like the fabricator, you know, there are certain places you can't place it because of interaction with the wall, but it's not like it has any snapping points for it. You can just place it wherever except for these places where it just doesn't want to fit. But there's no snapping at all for it. But then the stuff that snaps, you have nothing that actually, once you place down the base, there's nothing that you can do like, oh yeah, it snaps here, but I don't want to place it here. I'm going to move it a little bit, and now it's not going to snap. I think I might have made him go away at the right time. Mesa? I haven't played that one. Adding a toilet to a vehicle, and every time you use it, the vehicle gains power. You know what? You should check out Breath Edge. You don't gain power from using the toilet, but it does actually have a part where you can use the toilet, and it apparently when you do the flush or whatever, the suction thing pops some kind of material out at random. It's part of a thing that's just, it's a game to be funny. Have certain like quirky funny things happening. So you pee in the toilet, you get supplies, but the bad thing is it drains your fluid level, so you have to keep drinking water. Alright, let's charge. And I'll just, you know, I'm gonna grab some supplies. And oh yeah, that's finished charging. We can take that out. And you know, I'm gonna eat. Thinking, you know, actually, let's save real quick. We're at the 2-hour mark. Snap Builder mod came to Below Zero 2-3 weeks ago. Alright, well, I will check that out once Below Zero is almost full release or full release. Again, I don't want to add anything to the game right now that could introduce additional bugs and be saying like, yeah, watch out for this bug, and it's not actually a bug in the game, it's a bug with the mod. And where is it? Where is my... Okay, I know I had it here. There it is. My floating solar installation that I never finished building, that's part of this base. I never added more, and I kind of want to see if we can find someplace new. You know what? We'll do this. Where else can we build? Let's like get in the water. So yeah, we've looked at this and that weird platform there. That's obviously something that's going to go up. I feel like that's going to be part of a mountain range that's going to be used to enclose everything in the end, I think. It just leans more and more to the fact I think they're either going to be it's entirely circled, the entire map area, or we're going to have one area that leads into a drop-off void type area. But it feels like they're going to do, like, we're going to contrast the original game by having the entire map enclosed. That just feels like what they're probably going to lean towards on this one. So much trouble for that to register, is it? Whoa, is there something here? Yes, okay, wow, interesting. I had not seen that before. There's actually a little spot here to climb up. And oh, hey, yeah, of course, the Snow Stalker. I think he got stuck, is what I'm going to say, if he's right there. Oh, isn't that... Did they move it or did they retexture this? Because there's one that had the little wreckage, like the satellite type wreckage, but it was just a straight climb up, and that was it. They must have retextured it a little bit. Or, no, that's it right there. This is where... I want to say this is where that was. So they moved it. Look at that. There's actually a... If you got down on that, you'd be stuck. But there's a walking path right there. I feel like that's where I want to build the next little spot. It's not much. That was like a mouth. Oh, look, it looks like a mouth of a creature. Like something there. Like a It's that shark that's got that kind of beak to it in real life shark. That's interesting. Yeah, this has got to be a retexture for this, because I don't remember seeing this one in the past. Having that kind of walk-up path. I've been around these before, but didn't have that walk-up at any point. Oh, seriously. He's stuck. He got here somehow. He can't get out of here. He's just gonna die. I feel like I should put him out of his misery. That's a nice little scenic look too, right there. Kind of. I almost regret building on the rocket island now and not just building here, because, like, let's see, if we come up here and build off, or not even build off the tip. What if I, was to come here and build out of this area, build off of this side? You got this right here. That's just like, oh, that would be so cool to build off of this and just be like, or build right here, and that's where the sun comes up. Just like it comes right up through there. Sure it doesn't, but that would be a cool spot to do it. And that's where we were last time. We found that guy. Alright, so that looks like an interesting little spot to possibly build. I think we went way over here last time. Give it a second. It's got to think about the terrain. There we go. We got that very, very shallow, unfinished terrain. Something's going to go here. Maybe like an actual walk-up space that we're going to have another area to go on land. Or that's going to end up being another one of those cases where it's actually meant to cut off, and that's going to be an enclosure section. Yeah, there it goes. Taking its time, but it's still loading stuff. Now this is loaded. Look at that. That's a very particular looking overhang. Like, what's the point of having this drop down if this is sticking out? Oh, we got another little piece over here. Maybe this is that sort of thing where they have stuff that they're just like, we're going to put it over here to the side and experiment with it. Like that little cavity area off of the inactive lava zone tunnel that we found, and I built that little secret base in. It just feels like it's got to be something they're just toying with, because there's no real value to it just sitting there. I think I came all the way back around from the other side, because that's what we did last time. We kind of flew around this way looking. Love the detail on the mountains, despite the fact that we can't actually, we're not supposed to get up here. That's gotta be something that's just gonna be an enclosure. Yeah, that's probably not gonna be modeled into anything. I would assume that's somewhere along this area we're gonna see it wrapped in and enclosed where you can't get over there. And this is just gonna be a separate little place. Oh, look. There you go. Showing the leg of the moon pool, but not the full moon pool. I see the leg, but not the rest of the moon pool. Hi. Yeah, this is... I'm hoping next update we see something in this area. I really think this is going to be the next one for them to stylize in some way, because it's right next to the lily pads. It's right next to the purple vents and all that. And there's actually, obviously, stuff over here. I mean, that's where he's at now, as part of, like, the existing story in this version of the game. I would expect that's where they're going to stylize and add a new biome next. This, it renders. This looks interesting. Goblin shark, that's what it is. Yes, thank you for that. The goblin shark. Yes, Dr. Bob, he is a member. He joined in and he gives a little fee for bonuses just like Prime Sonic does. And some of our other members. That helps me out. The stasis rifle is getting cut out. I mean, I could understand it being a consideration because let's think about it. I mean, how much are you really needing it in this game? Beyond scanning something. There's nothing that we're really needing to, like, freeze in this game now. So it's... I could understand that. You know, no real need for the stasis rifle anymore. I don't know why they cut some other stuff out, like, you know, the sea moth got cut out because they're wanting you to use the sea truck. The cyclops got cut out because they want you to use the sea truck. And everybody else is like, we just want that stuff back because we don't want to use the sea truck. Let's see, I still have no titanium. I may have to, like, reset my cache, like, clear my cache just to make it respawn stuff in intentionally. So I can get supplies and build another base because, yeah. This is... It's just... I need more supplies. Let's do this. We're going to save. Yeah, we're way ahead of the 3-hour mark, but I want to actually try something because I don't have the supplies to build anything else. So we're going to do... I'm actually going to jump out, and I'm going to leave that stuff here. And we're going to do... I can move. We're just going to drive. And I want to see if it gives any issues, like, interaction-wise, if I get into a certain area. Yeah, I don't know why there's not like a horizon type display thing that shows you what direction you're going. Like, are you looking straight ahead? Are you going up? Are you going down? I'm surprised that's not actually in the game, especially with as hard as it can be to see at times. Like, yes, I know I'm going up because I'm seeing my depth decrease, but in some cases it's like, am I looking straight ahead or not? Alright, so here's this, which was, if we go this way, I think that's what it was. One of these that goes, yeah, this is what's going to lead around the back of the mountains. We'll go this way. We'll see, we'll check out that little iceberg area on foot, and then we'll continue around that way, trying to loop around. I'm sure with just the cabin module, we might have time to actually drive the whole way around the perimeter of this, on the outside of it. Any suggestions for someone starting No Man's Sky for the first time? Yeah, first off, don't mess with sentinels. Yeah, if you encounter them, if you see them, just be nice. Don't break anything around them. Just scan stuff because they will hurt you at the beginning until you can improve upon things. Do the story up, like, follow on the story to at least the point that you warp through. You start warping between one system to another, because once you hit that third system, I think it is, you get the Defender Freighter, with your, you know, starship, and once you defend the freighter, they'll give you the freighter for free. So at that point, even if you don't have a base you like, you now have a freighter that you can build stuff in, and it's your mobile base, which means you can take stuff with you until, of course, you find a new freighter and want to, you know, trade. But yeah, go ahead and jump to at least that part of the story, because that will make at least the rest of it easy, because you'll already have a free freighter, you'll have a free starship, and you'll be getting out there and finding some new worlds that you might like better for building. And then go ahead and, if you're looking for money, you know, watch my video on the No Man's Sky on how to make money, because go ahead, you can buy, you know, you can do however you want to do. If you want to do the crash the market, but I would say if you want to do more legit style gameplay and not using any kind of mechanic exploits, sell salvaged data, because you're always going to find more, and at some point you're not going to need it except when they have updates and need to buy the new unlocks that they add with the update. So the money you get from them at the beginning is a lot more beneficial than later in the game. So sell salvage data that you don't have, you know, sell it in excess. And of course, once you get to the, don't even worry so much about the, like, a base build and unlocking stuff at the base computer. Just, you know, try to get out into space, to the space station, then to the warp point, doing all that, because that way you're encountering the anomaly, and once you have the anomaly, you can get all the other stuff unlocked there and not have to worry about doing the research thing on the base itself. Well, interesting. So really, you could build, like, maybe a little bit in there and a little tower coming up. Let's see if I can climb up this way. Yes. Not going that way. Okay. I kind of feel sorry for the stalker, but at the same time, they're jerks, so he can starve. Sorry. Not sorry. He can stay over there and starve because he's stuck here. I don't know how he got here anyway. This is not their area. He must have swam, you know, way down deep to get to this, to get out here. You don't ever see them anywhere else in this area except in the glacial basin. And I hear my heart rate. Alright, how much can I build in here? No. Not going to work. Oh, I just went through that terrain. Let's see, there was that little inlet over here. Now, this isn't that bad of an area to be building in. Let's see, how much... Okay, that doesn't work so well there, but I saw it turn green. There we go. So you could build under here. If you were wanting to do like a little hidden base, it's not super hidden, but it is like remote and it's kind of hidden in there. You could be like, yeah, I'm gonna build a little base inside this iceberg and stay out of the way, and then use that little the little pool of water in there and build a few solar panels for power, and just, yeah, have a little tiny hidden base in there. It's not going to allow for a big base type build, but it definitely is an interesting little spot if you want to do like just that theme of a smaller hidden base. Like I did my underground little hidden base there, the Ghost Pepper. And view, I mean, you had that little, I'm going to say crab claw. That's what it looks like. It had like the bigger piece and then the short piece, you know, like that. I'm gonna say it was a crab claw and then a goblin shark. So some interesting terrain around the area. Now, I think I'm going the right way. That's not the goblin shark. That's another one. Kind of the same shape, though. It just doesn't have that prominent look like a goblin shark. Best dive suit and equipment, in my opinion. I'm assuming you're talking about original game, because in this we only have the coal suit really right now. Go for the reinforced dive suit. In original game, reinforced dive suit. Yes, you can use the one to get water. But let's face it, you put a couple of plants in your Cyclops, you know, you get a water filtration machine, you're not going to have to worry about drinking your still suit water. I used it in the past, I thought it was great, but then the effects I experienced from not having the reinforced dive suit, having to switch to the reinforced dive suit, I just went with the reinforced suit and stuck with it. And I've never found a reason to go back once I really started using it all the time. So I would go with it because it's going to keep you from, you know, it's going to reduce damage. You're not going to deal with heat damage as much. It's just going to help you in the long run a lot more. Look at that. It's just low enough the water is actually still showing above the terrain. This is definitely feeling like something that's supposed to get filled in differently. I'm just not convinced that's actually going to be used as an above ground area. That definitely feels like it could be just a, we're not going to use this. It's just going to eventually be a mountain or something above it to block you from going that direction. I still think this is going to be, you know, original Subnautica, you could go any direction and eventually come to the edge and go into the void, and even though you'd be attacked, you could keep going in the void long distance. Just keep going and going. I feel like they're going to do a contrast in this one where most, if not all, of it is enclosed. Okay, that's not enclosed. Let's go inside. Oh. I can't see it, but there's a piece of some surface there. Let's see if it will show me from here. No, it's not showing it completely, but there is something there, like an incomplete, like it's there physically, but not completely rendered. Let's do a jump. And we'll dive for a moment too. And there's not even the cragginess we see in the void in the original game. You have some of those little spires and such in the void. Here it's just, it actually is pretty much, it's flat, but in some cases you can actually see where it still has a slight sideways movement, so it actually moves outward more and more. I just don't think they're going to do the same thing in this game. I don't think we're going to have another void. Or if we do, it's going to be a very limited area. And of course, I can't go that deep. I can only go down 900. And I've done this before, and I know it was still going down further and further. There was no like cutoff where I could go under at that point. How much disk space do I have? I have a 500 gig SSD, and I I'm using on that, I've got 175 gigs free right now. That's all OS programs like games, my apps, everything. And then I have two 1 terabyte 7200 RPM mechanical drives, which I use for my recording because I don't want to burn through the write cycles on my SSD by recording to it. So I have one that records my game video and one drive that I record my camera video to when I'm doing that. Whenever I get around to building a new gaming system, I already planned I'm going to build a new gaming system, and this one's going to be upgraded to be just the recording and streaming system. The drives, the mechanical ones are newer, but I'll probably put in a new solid state on this one whenever I get around to upgrading with a new gaming system. But the new gaming system is going to be like probably a 2 terabyte NVMe drive or two 2 terabyte drives in RAID, so if one fails I don't have to worry about it. And I do backups every night that I can restore the entire system from if need be. I think I'm gonna go up the rest of the way because I don't want to just keep going and going and going and it be like some endless thing into the distance. Oh yeah, look how far out I am actually from everything. Hey, there's a... Let's jump out for a second because FreeCam does not play nicely when you are doing vehicle controls. Interesting. It's obviously not meant to have a gap there. And now it doesn't. That's an interesting little spot where it comes around. It actually has some texturing of sorts. Yeah. Alright, we're going to continue the search. Let's do this, see. Well, yeah, look at that. I've come all the way around to here. I could have kept going in that direction. And just come around, I guess, to an edge. That's how far down you can see it goes. Actually... Okay, no, it's just a visual thing there. So there's that overhang. We are coming around. Why am I not playing the March version? Because the March version is experimental. This is the stable branch, and it has enough bugs for my taste in the stable branch alone. If I play experimental, you're probably going to see me get so frustrated I stop playing the game and then don't play it again until full release with at least a couple of updates for it to be fixed at that point. I have no interest in doing experimental because that will probably make me not want to play the game. Okay, so we're actually coming up underneath the mountain peak. So I wonder if it's going to do the same thing where that last one where I couldn't see it, but there was a physical structure there it was making me bump into. I wonder if this is going to do the same thing. If not, we're going to go under the mountain. This is not what Ozzy was singing about. He wanted to go over the mountain. We're going under the mountain. I wonder. It is kind of high. I don't think I can make this jump enough to land on that ridge and let me start climbing up. Maybe over there. Oh yeah, I think we're gonna just completely go underneath, like the mountain's not there. We're coming around the back of the final research facility, or the precursor facility. Now, this would be a place to try and build a base and go upwards. Come out of the mountain. It's just sometimes you gotta start from inside to build out. Did I complete the story? I've completed the story as far as the story is allowed to go in this version of the game. The experimental version you're talking about has a new story. This is the last version for the stable branch that includes the original story they were trying to do. And yes, I've already gone through all the original story stuff. Up to the point that you get into a point where you cannot get the white tablet from Crazy Lady. And that's what you're at the point. It says you need the white tablet and you can't get it. And okay, we're underneath this ridge. Which this, I'm sure this is not an area that's going to be polished up. This is just an overhang type thing. Like they just had to have something there for visuals from a different direction for some reason. Or they were like, we're going to use this, and they changed their mind and decided to add the mountain over top of it. There's that little just random out of nowhere spot over there. I think we're gonna do it. I think we're gonna make it all the way around, completely circumnavigate the entire map. I still find it interesting that the water temperature in some places is so warm. I mean, I'm at 8 degrees Celsius right now. 0 is freezing. So there are places in the game where it is noticeably above freezing, and yet stuff's still very much frozen here. I think they're going to end up having to adjust the temperatures in places before full release. Just because, yeah, it doesn't really make sense if some areas it's like, you know, 10 degrees Celsius. Why is everything still frozen? Why am I suffering if it's 10 degrees? Like, I shouldn't be getting freezing effects. And this is... I'm sure this is not supposed to be here for any particular reason. Funny, it's actually got a little spot there where it goes above the water. Or there's a little dip where you can get up and out of the water. Huh. Alright, I want to check one thing, because this closes off right there. But we have this. And, yeah. Nothing. You know what, actually, I'm going to speed this up. If, you know... Funny, when you're in the vehicle, it still treats like you hit E for typing in a message and it still makes you disconnect. Or, you know, jump out of the vehicle. So double speed. And never mind. Let's, I want to check this out. We have a walking surface, I think. We're going to find out. This is where I now need the prawn suit. Prawn suit with actual airborne jump jets. Like we said we need. We need a way to... I'm afraid I'm going to get stuck in there. I'll get stuck down there, I'm sure. This feels like there should be something they're going to do with this. Because why have such a convenient walking path that gets up to a certain point like this? And if I had the prawn suit, oh man, I'd just jump up there. Easy. Look where I'm at. I am at the back of this. That's up for the mountain. I'm inside the mountain again still. Or this mountain. So why have this? Why have that convenient spot to walk up the hill and have a spot where it's like I'm able to walk on foot and climb up here, if they're not going to do anything with it. Maybe that mountain stretch is just a cover for something that they might do something with later. Or maybe they say, you know what, we might do something with this, we might not, let's just put it in, and then they change their mind and decide just do a big mountain there. Well, that's interesting. It's like the original Subnautica, still in early access. I was scouring along the area of the void before the ghost Leviathans were put in the void. This was when the void was just empty, except for the occasional fish up top. And I was going along, and in the walls, there was actually a spot that recessed, like we've seen in some of these, that went back. But it wasn't like just a flat chunk missing. It was a textured cavern type look, like they were planning to have caverns there. And I was like, I want to come back here sometime and build a hidden base here. That would be a nice little hidden base, you know, bioreactor, nuclear reactor, something like that to keep things going. And then they filled it in with full release, because I have looked for it and never found it again. And I know where it was. It is on the opposite side of the Aurora from where you start, in the void. And I've looked and looked, and it was nowhere to be found. Deep water has a temperature of 32 to 35 degrees Fahrenheit. Are you talking about on Earth, or are you talking about in the game? Dr. Bob, yeah, I remember you mentioning that about your parents getting divorced. So they already got divorced. What was behind the mountain? Are you talking about the base? Because there was my Ice Spires base that we built recently in the main Ice Spires area. That's in the big open, the spires and plain type area, the big flat snow plain. Look, there's some actual texturing again, so it's not just generic. Where am I at? I think I'm actually closing in on where we started. We're going to do this. We're going to make it all the way around and say we circumnavigated the limited area of the map. And once we do that, then I've got another idea now. Because we've got the force field, the little shield thing that's enclosing the area, keeping us from escaping. And was it last stream, Subnautica? I did the free cam. We went up there. We saw there's a curve to it, so it's not a tiny curve where it's enclosing the entire planet. It's actually just enclosing this area of the planet. And we know it's supposed to destroy, or a rocket blew up when it hit it. So I'm wondering if we can interact with it the same way. Free cam, we fly through it. But it's making me wonder if we can actually interact with it under normal circumstances. Oh, I am right outside the glacial basin. That's the drop in the glacial basin, I believe. I think. I could be wrong. Yeah, this is the glacial basin. So I am basically on the other side of the what was it?
Vital signs stabilizing.
What is it? The little snow base here. Yeah, see, there's that. And that's that. Where's the base that we get? There. Yeah. So if we go through the wall and come out, that's where I'm at right now. I'm basically coming around the outside wall area of the Snow Fox, you know, base. So we're approaching the other end of where I started on this. If I feel bad about the few people that watch the channel, don't feel bad because of the people that don't know about my channel. I'm just happy that people like watching what I do. That, you know, I get to do this and have fun with it, and there are people that actually care and want to watch it and join in like you all are doing right now and hang out and talk with me while I talk and you type, you know, while I do this. And we got people who like this kind of stuff, you know. I'm just glad people like to watch, period. Sam the hacker. All right, hi. You gotta hack. You gotta hack some bank account and transfer some money for everybody on chat today. You gotta make everybody rich. It can't be traceable. And that is. Okay, so I've got a wall here. Actually, let's do this because I'm not saving this. So we got a wall. And it goes up. And that looks like there's an opening, like a path I can get through. But before I go wasting power on that. No, can't get through there. Except, well, no. That's, unless it re-renders higher, this is low enough I should be able to get through. That renders higher, yeah. That's too shallow. So I need to come around this way. There's that generic terrain. Let's see, where are we at? If I go along this way, and there's the base. So we are almost all the way back. All the way around. We are doing this. We're going to have the claim that you got to see somebody drive the entire outer perimeter of the map. And one battery charge, or one power cell charge. I am getting a little low. But I haven't been using a lot of the boost, so I can keep moving. And I do have spare power cells, but it looks like you can drive the entire outer map perimeter on fresh power cells and still probably have a little bit left in the end. There's basically this stretch. When I come around that corner there, we should be right next to the vent garden base again. Why are there green things in the sky? What green things? Oh, that's the force field. That's part of the old story, not the new story, but you get to a certain point where it triggers a force field and you're launching a rocket, it blows up the rocket. It's all part of this whole thing with the infection on the space station getting out of control, and you're supposed to send up some of the enzyme, and that's when it locks everything down. Hi, Victory. Thanks for joining in. Timmy, oh, you didn't mess up your blanket anymore. Okay. Alright, you gotta reach for it. You gotta reach for it. You gotta reach for it. There. He's like, I'm comfortable. Don't make me move. Alright. Say hi. Can you say hi? Hey, who's my buddy? Who's my buddy? Who's my buddy? Stretch. Who's my buddy? Come on. Who's my buddy? Who's my buddy? That's right. There you go. And here we go. Back to the vent garden base. And recognize that area. So yeah, there we go. We've circumnavigated the outside map area for this, and I'm still going. I'm gonna say, without using the afterburner, about 25 power points left probably by the time I get there. Yes, he is comfy. Where am I at in the map right now? I was outside the map, or outside the normal play area. Like, this is, I guess, part of the play area because you can normally get to it, but it's obviously unfinished. I was just outside the area that they probably mean for you to be in ever at any point in the game. Like, where I went, they will probably not have you going in the end. I just wanted to see if I could do it, and I did it. Yeah, not even 25. Still at 28. I'm gonna get to maybe 27 before I dock again. So that was a complete drive around of the map. So actually, we're going to charge real quick because I know I'm probably going to need some power for this. And we've got 15 minutes left. We got one more thing we're going to try. And I'm going to see if this works. I'm going to see if we can actually get stuck against the force field. Like, can I go out to the force field and be stuck against it because it won't let me move? Or is it gonna do damage? What is it? Can we even get to that point? I know I've looked. Actually, let me take fog off again. Oh, there goes. That is fog removed. I mean, I know if we go up here, you can see the curve. It's a notable curve like that. It's not like it's going the entire planet. Let's just see if I can get out here. How far away is this going to be? Am I going to have to... I'm probably going to have to use like a speed thing to make this happen in the remaining time we have. Oh yeah, look at that. Almost 5 kilometers out. I feel like I'm outside of it now. I think I am. Alright, so we're going to let that charge. I'm thinking, just in case, I should be good on food, but I'm going to take some water with me. Just so I'm not getting alert and having to stop because of that. And we're going to do, like, game speed. I don't know, let's do 10 or something like that. Let's just go really fast. I don't think it's going to take that much to get out there. Oh, and I didn't bring any. That's right. I didn't have any modules with me, so I didn't have any spare power cells. So I guess it's a good thing that we didn't run out of power. You know, we'll just... there we go. We'll just take 2 power cells. We're going to make this happen. I want to see if I can bump into the force field, or is it going to just let me keep driving? Alright, what was it? 10? Speed of 10 should be good, right? Oh, let's take fog out. Alright. We're just... My hand's having seizures. Oh, if you are epileptic, don't look at the screen when I'm bouncing like that. Oh man, Oh man, I don't even. I'm wondering if this is messing up my streaming right now. Like I'm not even. It's not even letting me turn my angle very well. Like my piloting is not wanting to work so well. Okay, let's. Okay, this is. Speed does not play well with turning this thing. Okay, I saw like 5,000, so I'm still not there. So yeah, speed of 10. I'm gonna try this again. Ah, we'll see what happens. Yes, the Vesper space station. That's where you're sending like the cargo rockets and such. When you have to do that. And that's where you're like, they had the Kara, it got, like the infection got out of control. Like, send some enzyme, you try to send it up, the rocket causes the force field goes up, and suddenly you have a rocket blow up. That's one of the last parts of that, and then you still go on with the normal storyline. It's one of those side things, kind of like the... Like, it doesn't seem to actually require you to do that in the story. As opposed to, like, with the Sunbeam part in the original game. Okay, seriously. It looks like I'm still in the middle. Like, it doesn't look like it's... It looks like it's moving with me. Okay, I'm getting close. Let's eat. Or drink. We're gonna try this. Keep going. Keep going. Oh, a day. Yeah. At least there's no terrain out here for it to try and render that. The Sunbeam part wasn't necessary. It was necessary to get off the planet. Because until the Sunbeam got shot down, or, you know, you tried to get the Sunbeam come in, I think it was like you still had to do something with the gun. That it wasn't like letting you actually get like the unlocks. If I remember right, there was something with the unlocks that it still made you have to do part of that to get it to work. But it's now been a while. Look at that. It's curving above my head now. So there is no way to get to the outer edge of this. It is actually following me. So the force field is actually positioning itself above your character. Whether that is just for simplicity in terms of programming, or if it's actually meant to do that. There's no getting out of the force field. Yeah. So I am way outside the map now. I was way out here. So there we go. Does this take place after? It takes place after a few months after the original game. So like you got back from the original game, you told them about the planet, so now they've sent an expedition out to explore on the planet and research. Yeah, if you disable the gun and everything before the Sunbeam arrives, they still try to come in and they just say they have a debris field, they can't get there, and you still have to have it in order to get the whole plan, or get the code to get to the plans on the Neptune rocket platform to get back into space. So it's still, I mean, they could have left that out. They could have made it where instead you didn't even have the Sunbeam part if you disabled the gun. Or they could have made it like, yeah, the Sunbeam, if you disabled the gun, the Sunbeam did come down and land and pick you up. It could have done like a significantly different story ending for that, but they didn't. But yeah, look at this. the shield is like I am. Well, I can't see it so well now, but yeah, look at that. I am coming out of the shield. You know what? Actually, let's. Well, I actually made it harder to see the shield, but yeah, I am at the outer curve of the shield now. For some of it, like that, the inner. There's 3 levels, so the inner level, one closest to the ground, is I've already passed it. So again, I don't know if that is meant to be for simplicity of programming, just follow the character, or if it's actually done as the force field's following you in particular because of something specific to that they actually are, that's actually meant to follow you. Wow, you can see how much it's curving there. So that's interesting. It actually does follow the character in the game. So, Creeper blew up your collection system for pumpkins and melons. That's why you make sure it's very well lit around your stuff and don't have it where you might be accessing something like that to blow up your system. Hello, Eli! What profiles are messed up? Let's see, okay, I can get that bit of fog away. So yeah, that is how far away I am. So this was the last base we did last time. I am almost a full 5 kilometers away in that direction. And you can see the force field is just that curve to it that you can't normally see. And yeah, that's very interesting that it basically tracks around you. And of course then we got the space station that is actually moving away from me as I try to approach it. Come here, I want to see you. See, it's like watch, it's moving away from me, and then it's going to get to a point where it's going to be like it's trying to move towards me. And then I'm chasing it. And it actually is... let's see if I can get a good view of it again. That does not look very big. Quit doing that. They seriously didn't want to have you trying to get up there to the space station and look inside doing this.
Calorie intake
All right.
recommended.
So that's kind of the map. We went from there, where I'm highlighting now, we went that way, all the way around that way, back here, under the mountains, over that way, back over there. So we did this in this last bit, going under the mountains where the terrain's not finished. And you can see just how much of the existing map, I mean, that's 75-80% of the map that's completely enclosed, where you're not supposed to be outside this area. Which is why I think we're going to have a completely enclosed map in the end, where they're going to build more biomes out here. At some point, it's going to be you're inside a range of mountains and can't get out, so there's no void. Or they're going to have it where you have one side you can get out of, and that's it. I just don't see them doing the one side, because then you could get out and go all the way around the outside like I just did today. So I feel like it is ultimately going to be a fully enclosed area on the map, rather than it being partially open. Access the part of the planet and look at the aurora again? I don't think we could do that. I still think they should have done something where this was... Yes, do a second game that's an expansion on it, but do it as like an also tie-in to the original game, where the original game, you're still playing the original game. Make it where it's like DLC, basically. It's like Fallout. You get a DLC, you get one of the ones like what, Far Harbor, DLC, I think was one of them, where you go to that area, and it's like it loads to a new area, but you're still in that game. That would have been cool, because then you could have had, like, alright, here's this. It's basically a complete game on its own. They add a lot of stuff that only occurs in that area, but in the end, you could go to a new area, come back, kind of thing. I think that would have been cool, or at least have it where, yes, you complete the first game, it unlocks the second level of the game. So you start this part, and at some point you're able to travel back to the original game section, the game map, and visit the Aurora and build bases there using the stuff from this. They could have done that, but I understand why they wanted to just do it as a separate standalone game. It just makes it easier to clean it up and do it as a its own little entity. Use one of the gates to get to the original part of the game. Except the original part of the game, all the gates were for that specific area. So you'd have to have some secret gate somewhere that takes you, that you come out of that wasn't in the original game. So, that. See, multiplayer, Dr. Bob, is something I'm pretty sure they're still set on not doing for the game. Because, well, at least in the original game, the theme was you're isolated. You're on your own. But, at the same time, there are other games with that same theme to it that you're on your own. You're isolated, but they add co-op or they add multiplayer. The Forest multiplayer, you can do multiple people playing, and it's the same thing. You're supposed to be isolated, you looking for your son on your own, but they have co-op because people wanted that. You have co-op now in Green Hell. You're looking for your wife. It makes sense that for the story standpoint, you're on your own, but you could do co-op in Green Hell now. They really should have at least co-op in Below Zero in the end, I think. Multiplayer, maybe limitation of like a multiplayer where it's up to 4 people kind of thing. But yeah, they should at least incorporate something like that for at least Below Zero. Doesn't have to be original Subnautica, but they should at least do a built-in to the game itself 2 to 4 player option that makes maybe some adjustments on some of the text and, you know, phrasing of how the story progresses. I think they could do that. Before it crashed, I mean, if you do like a game like that, yeah, I mean, the theme of the original game, the Aurora got shot down by the gun. It wasn't like it just, oh, emergency crash land. It was shot down by the big gun. So you basically would have to have it where now that whole part of the story is kind of out. So yeah, that would not work just to have it where you're doing that, because then it would not be a Subnautica game. It would be, you're on the Aurora, and you're basically on the Aurora flying to some other planet. You know, now maybe they could do like a prequel where you're on some other planet exploring with a group of NPCs or something like that, but it would not be this planet. It would have to be a different planet because the Aurora was shot down by the gun platform. Timmy, oh yeah, Timmy, I think he's about ready. It's time. We are past the 3-minute mark, or 3-hour mark, rather. So yeah, we'd have to do something different. I mean, if you wanted to do a multiplayer version of the game, yeah, you could do like a multiplayer augment to the original game with more people surviving. I mean, technically more people did survive for a little while in the original game and died, or you didn't get there in time, you failed them. But the devs, the idea of the story was to be isolated. They didn't want to do a multiplayer, and they said, I know for the original game, that they had no intention of ever doing co-op or multiplayer of any kind. So I don't think we'll ever see that actually built into the game itself. Hey, Prime, thanks for hanging out. We'll see you next time. We're going to get out of here too. Me and Timmy, he's got to go, I'm sure. You need to pee? Timmy, you need to go pee? I bet you do. So, yes, it's been 3 hours. Thanks for hanging out with us today. We did new base. We got one in the Deep Lilypad, the flower sport area. I found another spot that could be interesting for a base, but you're not going to get a big base there, and there's really no resources around it to justify building there. And then we drove around the entire outside of the map and got to see how much stuff there is terrain-wise that's not actually being used for anything. So, yeah, we got a lot of stuff with that. But, yeah, thanks for hanging out, of course. Normal series, Minecraft and Chernobylite this week, and of course No Man's Sky Thursday, Friday, depending on where you are in the world, and then that Saturday more Subnautica. Whenever we get the new update, of course, we'll be starting from scratch. Whenever the actual stable branch gets the new one with a new story, it's supposedly end of the month, but maybe we'll get it next week, maybe not. But yeah, like I said, that's it for today. Thanks for hanging out with me and Timmy. We'll see you guys next time.